the middle of Hong Kong's Jordan area is Yuan Ji Dumpling or Yuan Ji Dumpling. If you're planning to add this to your Hong Kong food trip, you'll be greeted by a no-frills, open kitchen-style eatery that showcases not only its amazing flavors, but the effort that goes into each wonton and dumpling as well. Here, you'll be given a menu with 2 types of selections, fillings, which you then pair with a sauce or a soup. We opted to get their best sellers, their shrimp and crab roe wontons in hot and sour soup, and the shrimp, pork, chive, and wood ear mushroom dumplings in spicy peanut sauce. Let's talk about the wontons in soup first. You can order this for 65 Hong Kong dollars as of recording. I just know you are salivating because of what you're seeing on your screen right now. However, this dish might just work better if the wontons and the soup were 2 individual dishes instead. As per Yosh and Mariah, the wontons were delicate and flavorful, but because the hot and sour broth was already so flavorful on its own, the unique flavor profile of the wontons did not shine through. Maybe it's our fault because you can actually get the wontons with a clear broth instead. As a team, we love a good punchy dish, so that's why we got the hot and sour version instead. If you ever try this with a clear broth, let us know. As for the dumplings in spicy peanut sauce, they were perfect. If you want 10 pieces of dumplings, you'll have to pay 60 Hong Kong dollars. And if you want 12 pieces instead, you'll have to pay 65 Hong Kong dollars. The filling of the dumplings was just right and they were perfectly steamed as well, and it's a really good mix of flavors. The shrimp was slightly sweet, the pork was incredibly rich, and the wood ear mushrooms brought contrast through its slightly crunchy texture. But in terms of flavor, the real winner here is the peanut sauce. It's spicy, nutty, a bit sweet, and so good. Yosh and Mariah actually said that if they could take the sauce home, yes, just the sauce, they would. It is that good. But that's just the first item in this list. Small as it is, Hong Kong is sprawling with delicious eats. We're going to try and keep it budget-friendly, but we are throwing in a few pricier options that we think are worth the extra Hong Kong dollars. Now, we're not listing things in any particular order, but we are numbering things just to keep it a bit more organized. But wait. Before we reveal the next item on this list, let me introduce myself. Hey there, poor traveler. I'm Hannah, and my teammates and I have been traveling with Vince and Yosh for the past 15 years. As a team, we've been to Hong Kong multiple times, and that's how we were able to round up this list of restaurants and eateries to try in one of the busiest and most developed metropolitan hubs in Asia. If you're new to this channel, we always have useful travel content, so if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe you could tap that subscribe button and also the bell icon beside it, then select all so you're always updated when we have new travel videos. If you're watching on Facebook, we're on the road to 2 million followers, so please like and follow this page too. This is the first of many on this list of restaurants and eateries in Hong Kong that you'll find on the Michelin Guide's Bib Gourmand list. From the outside, this eatery is super unassuming, so much so that you'd wonder if you actually went to the right location. But just look for the unmistakable red and yellow sign, which looks like this, and you'll know you're in the right place. Mak Man Kee has been operating for 60 years and is an institution in this area, especially because of how affordable it is. Normally, the stars of the show here are the wonton noodles, but since they've had their fill of wonton noodles during their visit, my teammates decided to try their dry noodles topped with pork and hoisin sauce instead. While it was delicious, it was a mixture of flavors and textures they weren't really used to. But one thing we got out of being adventurous was that Mak Man Kee's noodles are perfectly thin and firm, regardless of what comes with it. If you guys end up going here, I recommend trying their wonton noodle soup first since that is their specialty. Mak Man Kee has a few branches across Hong Kong, but the original shop with a Michelin recognition is the one we visited. You'll find the address on your screen. One of the most famous budget-friendly eateries in Hong Kong is Tsim, which has a few branches in the city. The branch with a Michelin Bib Gourmand recognition, however, is the one on Wellington Street. If you're willing to line up, especially during lunchtime, feel free to go to this branch, but you may want to try their central branch instead if you're not that patient like us. My teammates went to their Queens Road Central store, which is located in a basement. Tsim is best known for their noodle soup, and it really lives up to its reputation. Their egg noodles are freshly made, they're springy and not mushy, and you can also choose toppings like fish balls, sliced beef, and the signature pork and king prawn wontons. You can also get a combination, but the broth is the same no matter what you order. And speaking of the broth, it's simmered for at least 5 hours every day, and that's why you can really taste the shrimp and fish flavors with just the right amount of saltiness. My teammates tried the wonton noodle soup here, and while the meat filling consisted of both pork and prawn, the prawn flavor really shined through. It's an amazing noodle dish for great value at only 40 Hong Kong dollars, and some may say it's a bit pricey for a bowl of soup, noodles, and wontons, but by Hong Kong standards in 2026, that's a steal. And if you're staying in the Sheung Wan district of Hong Kong like we were, then this is a great walkable spot. My teammates were staying at iClub Hotel Sheung Wan that time, which was just a 7-minute walk away. If you're also looking for a place to stay in Hong Kong, consider this hotel. It's nice, clean, and bright. And the best part is that it's in a good location. It's close to bus stops and delicious eateries, and it's quite close to MTR Sheung Wan Station, just around a 5-minute walk. If you book this on Agoda, you can use our promo code AGODATPT for 8 to 10% off, capped at 100 USD or around 5,900 pesos based on the current exchange rate. Just visit www.thepoortraveler.net/Agoda to automatically redeem the voucher. You can also use our promo code AGODATPT. If you have the Agoda mobile app, enter AGODATPT, all caps, on the deals page, then select the hotel and room as usual. Then upon checkout, enter AGODATPT again to apply the code. Yes, you need to enter the code twice, once on the deals page and then another time on checkout. Actually, Tsim isn't the only restaurant on this list that's near enough to walk to. They say you've never really been to Hong Kong if you haven't eaten at Luk On Kui. Formerly known as Lin Heung Kui, this restaurant is one of the last few spots in Hong Kong that serves dim sum through a pushcart. Inside, it looks like a traditional Cantonese resto or tea house, and most customers are elderly locals and most staff don't speak English. But from our experience, they're very warm and patient with tourists. Sadly, since our team had visited at around dinner time, the dim sum was long sold out. However, my teammates did still enjoy their barbecue options. This platter is a combination of soy chicken and roasted goose, and it cost around 168 Hong Kong dollars. But it's good for sharing and the cuts are big, though it may not be obvious in the video. The chicken is super juicy and very tender, but not mushy, and the goose was also very moist and fatty. It was actually a bit greasy and salty, but in a deliciously sinful kind of way. Another thing they ordered was seafood and assorted vegetable in a clay pot. And yes, this is also a big serving, which is also good for groups. The squid, fish, and shrimps are super fresh with no fishy smell at all, but we did notice that the bok choy overpowered the seafood flavors in the broth. From 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., they have rice toppings available for as low as 55 Hong Kong dollars, and from 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m., they have noodle toppings for as low as 39 Hong Kong dollars. Yes, we're still in Sheung Wan. There really are many delicious and cheap eateries here in Sheung Wan. In fact, there are often guided food tours here, and my teammates were able to join one. One of our stops was Dim Sum Square Kitchen. They have hakao, which is shrimp dumplings, siu mai or shao mai, which is pork and shrimp dumplings, spring rolls with pork and shrimp too. And then they also have crispy barbecue pork buns. For the dim sum, their prices were somewhere between 25 and 40 Hong Kong dollars per basket, and each basket contains 3 to 4 pieces depending on the item. You can go to this restaurant directly, but if you have a full afternoon and want to go on a food trip, join a food tour. There are many here in Hong Kong, but we booked ours with Hong Kong Foodie Tours. This isn't sponsored, okay? My teammates purchased their own tickets and they just want to recommend them because they had a great experience and learned a lot. The particular food tour they took had 6 stops, but in between, they passed by places like a temple, a market, and more to help digest what they've eaten. Through this food tour, you get to understand a bit about Hong Kong's food and culture along the way. The good thing about joining a food tour is that the serving is controlled, so you won't get too full because you won't feel pressured to order a lot, especially when servings are really big. I won't reveal all the stops included in the tour, but it includes Dim Sum Square Kitchen and Tsim I mentioned earlier. Since we're talking about dim sum anyway, let me continue with this. You're probably already familiar with this since there are Ho Wan branches all over the world. But the roots of this restaurant chain can be traced all the way back to the Mongkong district of Hong Kong. But note that the specific Ho Wan branch with a Michelin Bib Gourmand recognition is the one in Samsui Po. Since they have around 10 locations in Hong Kong, my teammates decided to visit the branch nearest to them at the time, which was the one in Central. Vince was quite hungry, so he chose to get a rice bowl topped with minced beef and fried egg. Honestly, this was just okay. It was a good thing that they also ordered some classics like the baked bun with barbecue pork and hakao. The baked bun with barbecue pork arrived first, and the combination of sweet and savory of Hong Kong buns is always a winner. Take note that the dim sum is a bit more expensive compared to the previous spots we've tried, but they're still super good. The hakao wrapper keeps the shrimp juice really well, so you're surprised with that burst of flavor when you finally bite through it. Yosh also ordered rice noodle rolls with pig's liver. I'm not a big fan of liver, but Yosh absolutely loves liver, so he could not pass up the opportunity to order it when he sees it on any menu. And good thing because he loved it. The rice noodles were soft, not rubbery, and the liver had no irony aftertaste and was perfect with the soy-based sauce. Texture together is just weird because it's mushy on mushy, but it's still delivered, as for Yosh. After all of the savory dishes, you're bound to look for something sweet to wrap up your meal, so this is one of the 2 bakeries for you to try in Hong Kong. And what better way to wrap up dim sum meals than with Hong Kong egg tarts? Tai Cheong is an institution in Hong Kong and was established in 1954. There are actually 2 types of Hong Kong egg tarts that you will usually find in local bakeries, and Tai Cheong has them both. They're actually credited for introducing one of these versions to the Hong Kong food scene. So, in their branches all over Hong Kong, you'll find the flaky, crispy egg tarts made with puff pastry, which is how these egg tarts were originally introduced from Canton, now known as Guangzhou, decades ago. But what Tai Cheong is really famous for are their crumbly cookie crust egg tarts that use a buttery short crust as its base. Both egg tarts are sold for 12 Hong Kong dollars nowadays. Their custard is firm, almost jelly-like, which has a light, sweet custard flavor. And I'm honestly not a big fan of these kinds of egg tarts because I find that it tastes a bit mild for my liking. The sweetness is just right, so I'm not saying that it's not sweet enough, but I think it's just that it lacks a bit of a deeper egg flavor. However, I think that's why it's a perfect way to end dim sum because it just rounds out the already flavorful dim sum. Aside from egg tarts, Tai Cheong is also famous for their Chinese donuts, which you can get for 15 Hong Kong dollars. Tai Cheong Bakery has multiple branches across Hong Kong, but you'll see the address for the one we visited on your screen. Now, obviously, this isn't the only bakery that makes egg tarts in Hong Kong, and each bakery has their own style, and this next one is a personal favorite of mine. Bakehouse by Grégoire Michaud has cemented its name in the bakery scene through their delicious pastries, particularly their sourdough egg tarts. Chef Grégoire started baking at the age of 15 and eventually found himself in the kitchens of hotels like the Four Seasons. With years of experience as a pastry chef, he founded Bakehouse in 2018. I absolutely love their sourdough egg tarts. I've been to Hong Kong twice since last year and best believe that if I had to choose between my carry-on bag and a paper bag filled with boxes of sourdough egg tarts, I will be carrying nothing but those egg tarts up the plane. These egg tarts are so in demand that they sometimes have a limit of how many boxes you can buy. And I know because I was tasked to buy 10 boxes between me and my 3 friends, and the person at the counter was looking at me so suspiciously. Apparently, people are buying multiple boxes just to resell them. They are that good. What I love about these egg tarts is that they are super flaky, and because they use sourdough for the pastry shell, it adds a bit of contrast in flavor and in texture to the custard filling. These egg tarts are now sold at 14 Hong Kong dollars per piece. They're definitely different from classic Hong Kong style egg tarts. Bakehouse egg tarts are inspired by Portuguese egg tarts, which are famous for their croissant-like base and a custard filling that's caramelized on top. It's such a joy to eat because it's so balanced as a dessert. If you're familiar with Macau's Lord's Toast Bakery, I'd say their egg tarts are a bit similar, but I'd have to go back to the original Lord's Toast in Macau to make a deeper comparison, since I only have the ones in Manila to compare from recent memory. We visited the branch of Lord's Toast in Manila during our Binondo trip, and you can also watch that on the channel if you're curious. Okay, back to Bakehouse. Take note that they do have a lot of other pastries on their menu, but I'm just a sucker for a good egg tart. Aside from wolfing down their egg tarts, I also tried their strawberry vanilla Danish for 48 Hong Kong dollars. The strawberries weren't too sweet, which is a shame because I love when strawberries are on the sweeter side, but the glaze on top of the pastry dough compensated well enough for the strawberries. The vanilla custard wasn't too sweet either, which is my preference as I get older, although I wish there was a bit more of it. The crushed pistachios also added a different dimension to the flavors and textures, which I absolutely loved. Bakehouse has a few branches all over Hong Kong, but I really love the branch at Citygate Outlets in Tung Chung because it's near the airport and it doesn't sell out as fast as the other branches. The first time we tried to buy egg tarts from Bakehouse, we tried the Tsim Sha Tsui branch since it's admittedly very accessible if you're staying in the Kowloon area. However, that also means that boxes fly off their shelves pretty quickly. Also, not all branches have seating areas, but the one in Tongcheng has a few tables and chairs, which is great. We thought you guys might need a break from Cantonese food, so we decided to add Samsen to our list. And yes, we're recommending a Thai restaurant in Hong Kong. This spot has a Michelin Bib Gourmand Award, so if that matters to you, make sure to add it to your personal Hong Kong food trip. Just be mindful that this is a bit pricier than the other spots on this list. The first dish to arrive was som tam or pounded papaya salad with toasted peanuts, dried shrimps, and tamarind sauce. The taste is heaven, but the spice was like hell. Imagine there was a typhoon during my teammates' visit, but they were still sweating profusely. Like I said, we really do love a good punchy dish on this team. They also ordered khao soi. The egg noodles were bouncy, drowning in a rich, textured curry-based broth. It comes with big pieces of curried chicken that's tender, perfectly cooked with the flavor seeping through, and pickled mustard greens. It's topped with crispy fried noodles, coriander, spring onions, and red onions. And there's also a slice of lime to add a more citrus punch. Vince ordered pad thai, and when Yosh tried it, he was able to confidently say that this is one of the best pad thai they had outside Thailand. The flat rice noodles and the tiger prawns are coated all over with the sweet tamarind sauce, topped with bean sprouts and peanuts, and served with scallions and julienne green mango on the side, which was a nice touch. The raw mango in pad thai definitely piqued our curiosity, but Yosh says it was a perfect add-on. If you have the budget for it, go ahead and give Samsen a try. You'll find the address and operating hours for the branch we tried on your screen, but they also have branches in Wan Chai and Sheung Wan. This last one is a shout out to the little treats that will give a bit of whimsy to your Hong Kong Disneyland experience. If you've watched our previous videos, you know that Disneyland snacks are not cheap. So if you're planning to save on food, you can prepare ahead for meals since Hong Kong Disneyland does allow visitors to bring single portion food items and then purchase a few snacks for the experience. A favorite in the park are the frozen treats, especially since it does get quite tiring walking around the park. It's a great way to cool down and snap a cute photo as well. They have popsicle sticks inspired by beloved Disney characters like this Minnie Mouse one, this Stitch one, or just a classic Mickey Mouse chocolate dip popsicle. You'll find a lot of these stalls all over Hong Kong Disneyland. As for this Olaf soft serve in an ice cream cone, you'll only be able to find this in Arendelle, World of Frozen's Northern Delights. The Mickey Waffle is another classic, and we got this from a stall along Main Street, USA, where we also got the comically large turkey leg for 160 Hong Kong dollars. Best to get this if you're sharing with other people, not only because it's huge, but because it's on the more expensive side.
When it comes to drinks, Yosh really loved the Hong Kong milk tea slush with soft serve at the Lucky Nugget Saloon at the Grizzly Gulch. We were also able to try these cakes during an event to celebrate Hong Kong Disneyland's 20th anniversary, but I noticed they are also available in the restaurants and lounges of the Hong Kong Disneyland Resort hotels.
So, have you tried any of the items or restaurants we mentioned? Or is there a restaurant or eatery that's not on the list that you want us to try next time? Let us know in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're always notified when we have new videos. That's all for now. Remember, plan smart, travel safe, and make every trip worth it!